the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Because that's he, like I said, he can save you games, he can win you games, he can close things out with his defense. But if it's tied, yeah, it makes no sense. But I don't think Tennessee's doing that.
Yeah. Buy or sell, Jack Foster. 3:30 kickoff games in Neyland Stadium are better than night games in Neyland Stadium, because I'm seeing a lot of people who are mad that Georgia Tennessee is not under the lights in Neyland, the third Saturday of the season. As someone who's attended a lot of 3:30 games in Neyland and night games in Neyland, I think 3:30, and I also, maybe part of it is I grew up on SEC on CBS and the 3:30 slot being the best slot anyway. I kind of prefer it. Like I don't know if I'm in the minority among Vol fans, but I like the 3:30 more. It feels like a bigger game. And it was just interesting to see the response of Tennessee fans were mad that this is not a night game. And I'm like, I don't know. I think this is actually kind of, I like this being an afternoon game. Like I like this being primed. I understand it's not prime time anymore with ABC and ESPN, whatever. But to me, prime time will always be 3:30. And I'll prefer a 3:30 spot. It will feel like a bigger deal. And I kind of think Neil and everything else, because it will start to get darker a little towards the end, but it also, I don't know. I think I like it. I think it's a positive. But what say you? Is the night game still the king? And would you rather this be a night game?
When it's at its most important part of the game, fourth quarter, it's night. So I don't honestly think it matters all that much. I am always been one to lean towards the night game as having a more prestige. So I think I'd side with that just ever so slightly. But I completely get what you're saying. And also those SEC on CBS games were so long. So you really got laid into the night too, in the fourth quarter. But I think I'd go 7 slightly, but I'm not, if the game is huge, right? If it's like a massive game, I'd rather it kick off at 7. Just feels like it has a little more prestige to me. But 3:30 still has a ton of significance. Like I said, it's night at fourth quarter anyway. So that's all the vibes you need. So honestly, it's not a huge deal to me, but I guess I give the slight edge to 7.
Yeah, and I think, the games with TV commercials, and if it's close, like that game it's gonna get dark towards the end of 10. Yeah.
It'll be 7:30, by the time that thing's over. So,
and if it's a close game, might overtime stoppages. We got 2-minute warnings now. Like
I know. When did Tennessee Alabama end at 22? Like,
oof. Well, I was thinking Florida, because I think Florida. It was definitely dark Tennessee Florida last year, but that was that a night game or 3:30? I thought that was 3:30 last year. Because I know it was a night game both times when we were in Gainesville in the Heupel era, but
right.
I'm trying to remember if that was a 3:30, because when I went, I know it was 3:30 and 22 because my wife and I were there for Checker Neyland, and that was an afternoon game.
Florida was 7.
Okay, so it was only 3:30 and 22. I will tell you, it was pretty loud and pretty jumping for Tennessee Florida at 3:30. And
yeah. I was gonna say, remember Tennessee played like 7 straight 7 o'clock games last year.
Yeah, it's too much. It's like the opposite of
night.
Ohio State, where Ohio State's like begging to get off the big noon kickoff, and Tennessee fans are like, "Can we not have a game end at midnight?" For once this year.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like if I have a choice, like I like the 3:30 for ETSU is. I haven't seen the 3:30 slate yet for that week, but I don't know what we're doing there. That should be a 9 a.m. kick. Let's get that one up and over. But we can't do a 9 a.m. kick for that game.
Yeah, a little absurd for that. If you include Ohio State, 9 of Tennessee's 13 games last year started either at 7 p.m. or later.
Whew. Too many. We get a break.
UTEP, Vandy, and Chat were in the noon or 1, and then Bama was 3:30.
I don't love noon sometimes, though. Like, I will tell you, like, because usually I'm coming back from home in Atlanta for the holidays for Vanderbilt. So there was a bad wreck. I remember getting back to Atlanta and Vanderbilt started. Like, I thought I was going to get in there right at noon.
Yeah.
The wreck put us back like an hour and a half. Like, it was a bad wreck. And so I'm having to I'm not moving really. So I have on the radio listening to the game, but also like having it on my phone, sitting there and no movement traffic. And I'm like, this sucks. Like I'm having to, and then Tennessee obviously gets off to a terrible start. And I'm just like, oh God, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare situation. So it doesn't give you as much time for that 12 o'clock game. I would be okay moving Vanderbilt always to the 3:30 spot because, and I think it was at home because my wife and I went 22 as well, and that was cold, but it was also that was a 3:30 game. That wasn't a nooner.
Nope.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.